I had grown attached to humans. And now their army beneath me was about to die. From the ground the battle looked even, but what I saw from far above the carnage was they were being outflanked. Really no way they could have known about the Thessarians' cloaking technology. This was the first time the Thessari had used it in battle. I had been here for humans since the beginning. I saw the first animals crawl out of the ocean. I saw the first ape who preferred to stand upright, the taming of fire, the birth of civilization, Sputnik reached beyond, and Circe's IV being colonized. Each milestone I made sure to see, and the final one was their extinction. This was just one battle, but if this planet fell, humanity would likely not recover. Thessari weaponry was based on a dangerous balancing of unstable isotopes to fire tungsten rods. They were the first species I have seen use this as their primary firearm. Humans had experimented with something similar with railguns, but the Thessari made them handheld, nuclear, and mass-produced them. This planet was rich in tungsten and uranium. If the Thessari controlled it, their reserves of these resources would more than double. I could try to help, but I won't. My ancient race had long since plateaued. For billions of years, I have traveled and looked at life. During that time what I have learned is not to interfere. Not all species can live, and I am one being. If I stop a plague, a new one will appear in the next generation. It was prolonging, not saving when I interfered. I loved humans, but I couldn't show favoritism. It wasn't the way of the universe. I looked closer at the line, at a particular spot of interest near the left flank. A machine gun jammed. The Marines' eyes grew in horror, knowing they only had seconds before the onslaught arrived. The line fired their hand weapons desperately as the Thessari poured over no man's land, bullets riddling the Thessari leading the charge. The barbed wire was crawled over, the dead eventually making a bridge for the living. The makeshift fortifications were met, the machine gun was unjammed. The gun was being loaded, Thessari tungsten poured into the Marines, a quick death. The trench was overrun, humans could not compete with Thessari in hand-to-hand. Behind the lines, fresh Marines were already moving up to push back. The artillery would focus soon on this spot and halt the Thessari. Humans would hold, probably even take back the trench, but it's another pound on the nail in the coffin. The cloaked Thessari moved closer. My heart sunk, the Marines would die unless they fell back soon. The planet was doomed when the clockers entered the forest. It was just these lives I wanted to save. Maybe I could speak to the commander and get him to fall back, or to the men directly. Yes, over their radio let them know of the cloaked troops. I wanted to, but I knew I couldn't. The last time I interfered I grew too attached. The clockers were almost through the forest. My eyes swelled, tears about to pour from them. Over the airwaves an order came to immediately take cover, close your eyes, and cover your ears. I listened as well. My eyesight was never the same after Los Alamos. The vibrations of conventional explosives rocked my senses. Just one explosion, then for the first time on the battlefield, silence. I opened my eyes to behold what they have done. The forest was gone. The cloakers with it. An artificial caldera in its place. The front opened up again in gunfire. The Thessari were shocked and didn't react for another 5 seconds. That's all the humans needed. They pushed forward. Thessarians tried to hold, but within 3 minutes their front line was either dead or falling back. I saw their transport ships fire up in the distance. The day was won. I flew back to the humans' base and listened to the human commanders. They did the normal post-victory grim congratulations. A bottle of scotch was passed about, each commander giving a toast to the men and the general before taking a drink. The commander passed on the scotch, choosing instead his canteen, then spoke. This was a risky move, the men were bait, and we had to bank on no information getting back to the Thessari that we knew of their cloakers. After a short pause he continued, even a simple radio call would have been intercepted by the Thessari, and could have changed their tactics, or worse, caused our men to panic and rout. The commander looked up toward the sky, right at me. I knew he couldn't see me, but it was unnerving. But someone up there was looking out for us today. Humanity doesn't need me to play God. They never have. I won't start now. The author's name and the link to original text in the description. Consider tapping the thumbs up and pressing the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. And please join our channel.